Hello friends, I welcome you all to this session on C programming. Though I was thinking to tell you about more or solve more problems on loops, but I thought that it is the correct time to introduce functions to you so that you can make functions and then use those in your program. So what are functions? Functions are nothing but the bundle of program which you keep separately uh, from your main function and use those programs inside your function main function, so that the width of the main function also reduce and the program becomes more readable. So that's it. You have already used so many functions, inbuilt functions like printf, scanf, and so many things, but the thing is that they are already defined in some header file, that is in your math.h, that is sine, cost, and printf, scanf in your that what we call input output function, that means standard input output header file. But now I will be telling you that how to make a user defined function, that means the user of the program is writing those functions. So in general you should always remember that if this is my program, then this is the place for my header file and this is my main function. Okay, then here I will be declaring my function, that is user defined functions. Now the question is how to write functions. You have already seen main. The best example is main. Let me write this for you. Now what is this? Now this is a function. Basically, that is how we write the name. So this is the name of the function main. Then inside the parenthesis some arguments will be coming. So these arguments will be nothing but those inputs required by the function. Then this is the return type of this function, that what this function will be returning, and if at all it is returning, then, and if it is not returning, then you can simply say no, it doesn't return anything, void. So that is how we do it, and inside we will be writing lines of codes. So these codes, I'll show you that how to write this. So there are basically four types of functions in general. First, no argument and no return type. Second one, no argument but with return type. Then third one, argument but no return type. And the fourth one, with arguments and with return type. So let us see these quickly. So let me remove everything whatsoever is present inside that main function. So let us see first function. Let's say I want to write a function. Let's say the name of the function is gr, that means gr stands for greeting, and let's say it is not returning anything, so it is void. Okay, then the body of the function, it will do what? It will simply greet me, hello. Now if you look this is my function, very simple. So the name of the function is gr, then inside parenthesis I am not writing anything. Why? Because this is the function which doesn't have any argument. Then why void? Because I don't want anything that function to return. It will only print. What does mean by return? So if I am having a function, it is returning something, means that value I can use somewhere. Okay, so let's say I have this function. Now if I want to call this function inside this program, I simply have to write gr and that's it. So if I do this, so what will happen? This is my called function, this is my calling function. So main is calling this gr inside it. So what this gr will do? It will nothing, it will be doing nothing except printing. So I missed one f here. So it will simply print that hello. So if I run this, say, so why this is, oh sorry, void has v has to be small. So if I run this, it will say hello. So this is what type of function? This is no argument, no return type. So if I write that, mm, let's say, let's say people are called by their initials. Let's say Pankaj, P for Pankaj, and let's say Aman, A for Aman. So char and then A. So here what I'll be doing is print, then percentage C, and here I'll be writing A. So what will happen? So this particular program takes argument, that is A, use it inside this print to print, but doesn't return anything. So while calling this program in this main function, this main calling this gr in the main function, I have to pass this argument. If I don't pass any argument, so it will throw an error saying that I am expecting some argument. So if I run this, so look, too few arguments. So yes, there are few arguments. So let's say it is P. So if I run this now, it will say hello P. Okay. So now you know that this function is requiring some argument but doesn't return anything. So this is with argument, without return. And let's say this is not accepting any argument. Okay. Then what? Then it is returning something. So whenever I am calling this, so it must be returning something. So let's say it is returning what? So how to write it? Return 19. So what it will return? 19. What is the data type of this return? Integer. So the return type of this function has to be changed from void to int. So that is how you should remember that whenever you want something to be returned as integers, then this return type of the function should be integer. So what if I run this program now? If I run this program, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Why? Because this is returning something. I have to transfer this data to some variable. Let's say int, and this is a. I am transferring this value of this function. So if I print this, now what will happen? Now I will be getting that 19. So if I run it, so I am getting this 19. So that is the meaning of return. So this particular value which is returned by the function can be utilized by some other program. Okay. So now if I require that function to have some argument, so let's say I want to make a program or make a function which will be adding, which will be adding two numbers. So I'm naming it as add. So what are those numbers? A and B. Let's say these are the two numbers. The problem is in C you have to declare in priority that what is the data type of this A and B. So let's say they are integer type. Okay. Then what is required? Then the sum is required. What is the sum? Sum is of A and B. So you have created a variable of int type and assign that variable the sum of A and B, and then you simply return the sum. Now what is happening? You are creating a variable, you are creating a function called as AND. It requires two integer variables A and B. It will return the sum of these variables. So first the sum will be assigned to this sum variable, and then that sum is returned, and as this has to be integer, so we are writing the return type as int. So inside the program, let's say I just want to print the sum of two numbers, that is 3 and 5. I'll simply call this add function, and 3 and 5. What am I expecting? 8. So that is what it will happen here. So the answer is come out as 8. So friend, this is so, it is very simple to write function. Important thing is that the function in C, so far whatever I have told you, they are capable of returning only one variable's value. So if you want to have another one, let's say pro, and here you are multiplying this, then you cannot simultaneously return sum as well as pro. Either you can return sum or you can return pro, that is product. Then in that case, pointers will come into picture. They will be very handy when handling such type of problems. Those problems I will show you that what are pointer, how to handle with pointer. So I'll tell that thing in some later videos. But right now my task is to work on more problems related to while loop. So I told you this. So let's say I'm interested in writing a mathematical function. Let's say I'm interested in writing a function that y is a function of x, and that function is nothing but x square plus 2x plus 3. Then what is the name of function? This is the name of function. What are the arguments? Only x is the argument. What is the return type? So I am expecting this return type to be float. So what is the one which is returned by the function? The value of this. So how to write it? It is very simple. You make one function, name it f. What it requires? X. What x can be? Normally it is float. Then I am creating one more variable, or I needn't have to create any. I just have to say that return simply, return x square, that is x into x, plus 2x, that is 2 into x, and then plus 3. I could have also used power as math module is there. So POW x comma 2. That's it, simple. So if and what is the return type? It has to be float. Okay. So this, what I require? I require to find out the value of this function when x is 1. So when x is 1, look here, when x is 1, so it will be 1 square plus 2 into 1 plus 3, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. So the answer should come out as 6. Okay, so if I run this program now, so it is giving me 6. Simple, friends, it is so simple. So in this way, now you know how to write a function. Important points: first one, the name of the function, then the arguments. So if you are writing any argument, please do not forget to give the return type, give the type of that particular variable. Then inside the body, you have to write some statements, okay, and then you must be returning something. Whatsoever you are returning, the data type of that return should come here. And inside, while calling that function, you should simply be saying f and then passing those arguments to it. If the number of arguments is less than what was expected by that particular function, so it will return error. And if it is correct, then you will be getting some output. That's it. So that is how you write functions. So what I'll be doing is I'll be using this knowledge of creating functions in my next video to find out the roots of equation, let's say any transcendental equation given by the user. Okay, and that's it. So in this lecture, till this point only. In the next lecture, we'll be writing more program using while loop. Thank you very much for watching it.